In CrossFit world, we love mental toughness, but there's a fine line between being mentally tough and being burned out. And today we'll talk about it so you know the difference. Tune in and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
Guys, Coach G here from CrossFit Edwardsville. I'm excited to share with you some thoughts on a really important topic today. That is the topic of the difference between being burned out and then being mentally tough in order to fight through. Because this is something that I think that everybody will encounter at some point of their fitness journey. This is not just true for CrossFitters, but it's true for everybody who aspires to have a healthy lifestyle and be consistent with exercise over time, especially if you're one of those very driven people that tends to push yourself and you like holding yourself to a high standard of performance. And it's great that you do if that's you. I'm one of those people. I am your people. I totally get that. Now, that said, it is wisdom would dictate. It's good to know the difference between these two things, because if you've ever read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in that book, Stephen Covey talks about how important it is that you're not just pushing the goose to lay golden eggs, you're taking care of the goose too. And you guys, you're the goose. I'm the goose. And if we want to continue to lay golden eggs over time, we need to be taking care of ourselves. So let's talk first about what mental toughness is. So I like to think of mental toughness as the ability to stay focused, stay positive, and stay resilient in the face of challenges and discomforts. And all of this is a completely normal part of an exercise or health and wellness journey. This is where we do hard things on purpose while staying aware and in control. And it's one of these things that it's a parallel, and to some extent, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a surrogate for discipline. It's one of these things that gets better with practice. When you show up when you don't feel like it, you finish the tough workout, you felt like stopping partway through, getting back under the bar when you've failed a set. This healthy kind of toughness respects your body's signals, and it is one of the things that produces long-term well-being and produces discipline. And all of these are great things, because real talk, if you are trying to build a long-term exercise habit, life is going to happen and you are going to be tired on some days. There will be many days you don't feel like exercising. And this is about choosing how to respond and responding intelligently when you are tired. It's just like some people define courage as taking action even when you feel fear. Mental toughness is about choosing to respond in a way that facilitates your long-term goals, even when your feelings are running counter to that. Now let's look at the flip side and talk about burnout for a second. Just as real, I looked up a definition. Burnout is a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged, unmanaged stress. Or if we put it in our fitness terminology, our fitness context, it's overtraining, it's a lack of recovery, it's a feeling of constant pressure to PR or outperform, never deloading. And there are some symptoms that can come up that can be signs of burnout. One is constant fatigue, having sleep issues, more disturbed sleep, completely lacking or losing all the motivation to work out, losing the joy in your training, experiencing mood swings or irritability, having frequent minor injuries or illness, dreading workouts that you used to love. I made a list here. I'm just kind of going through that list. These are things that can be a sign of burnout. Because if you feel like every day is a grind and you're forcing yourself through it with no spark ever, That is not mental toughness. That is often burnout. And you need to know the difference. That's really important. So let's kind of balance or juxtapose these two once again, side by side, just to make the difference crystal clear. So mental toughness is when you embrace challenge intentionally. Feeling trapped in obligation is more of a burnout experience. Mental toughness is more like the temporary discomfort for long-term satisfaction, whereas burnout is chronic exhaustion and loss of joy. Mental toughness side of things, adapting and bouncing back, plateauing or regressing despite effort is more the burnout side of things. Respecting rest and recovery is the mental toughness, or the mental toughness harnessed or paired with wisdom. I'll put it that way. And the burnout side of things is ignoring poor recovery signals. In short, mental toughness improves your resilience and burnout erodes it. You can think of it that way. So here are some questions that you can use to kind of self-audit. You can use the following questions to do a little self-check on yourself to experience or get a better idea, some clarity, which of these are you experiencing? So first, am I dreading this workout because it's hard or because I'm exhausted and resentful? That's a great question to ask. Is this soreness normal or am I always just run down lately? Am I making progress and enjoying small wins or am I just going through the motions? When was my last true rest week or deload week? If you're coming to CrossFit Edwardsville, by the way, the deload weeks will be engineered into the program for you so that you can avoid burnout intelligently and proactively. So here are some practical tips that we suggest so that you can build your mental toughness without burning it out. So first, if you're not a part of CrossFit Edwardsville, schedule planned recovery weeks or lighter training cycles. So you have a time to take your foot off the gas pedal and allow your nervous system, your adrenal system, your muscles, your joints, your tendons, your ligaments, the opportunity to get a breather and recover. Also, embrace non-gym stress management techniques. This is where maybe you journal, you may meditate, doing breath work, sleep hygiene. I know for some of our CrossFitters, nature walks are very restorative for them. Getting out and spending time on the water, sauna can be great as well. Also, it can be great to focus on process goals, not just outcome goals. For example, a process goal might be, I'm going to show up today and I'm going to get 30 quality reps of this guard pass that I'm working on in jiu-jitsu. It might be, I'm going to show up and I'm going to try and do this particular exercise just a little bit better than I've ever done before. Even if it means I go a little bit slower, I'm going to move with a higher quality of movement and more focus on the details of excellence today. Not just PR chasing, but striving for enjoying the process itself. And it's important that we be okay with saying, today I need to dial it back. There'll be days where you're at 20% of capacity. And sometimes just showing up and giving that 20% and understanding that it's going to be less than your best and being okay with that, that's a wise way of training as well. A lot of times your longevity in an activity matters a lot more than today's score. More than winning this particular sparring round, more than lifting more than that one particular person you're always trying to beat in the workout. Sometimes being there, doing quality movement, getting your heart rate up, being a little bit discomfortable, but also leaving some margin there is a very smart way to train. You're not weak for taking your foot off the gas pedal. you're smart for protecting the thing that allows you to drive in the first place, so you can keep doing this for many years to come. I'll close out with these thoughts for you, a few closing thoughts. First, mental toughness is showing up for yourself and embracing the challenge on both the easy days and the tough days when you don't feel like it, not letting transient feelings steamroll the consistent actions that it takes to actually build great health, great vitality, a great life. Burnout is what happens when you stop listening to your body entirely, and the difference is awareness. So if you have any further questions or need more help, feel free to reach out to me or any of the coaching team here at CrossFit. And I hope that you do. We're here to be of service to you guys. For now, I thank you guys for the gift of your time and your attention. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more useful tools and guidance, go to CrossFitEdwardsville.com and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment sections down below. See you in the next episode.